Hey, I'm coming to you from the beautiful Cedar Creek battlefield here in Virginia. This battle was fought October 19th, 1864 between Union General Phil Sheridan and Confederate General Jubal A. Early. This battle has about 32,000 Union soldiers and about 15,000 Confederates. But what happens here is on the early morning hours of October 19th, in these fields behind me, is where Phil Sheridan's troops are camped. There's, like I said, about 32,000 men. They're going to be camped all through these fields, all the way down, all the way up toward Lord Fairfax. Just a massive army here. Prior to the battle, Confederates had climbed up to the top of Signal Knob, which is actually to our east. It's a large mountain range. But they climb up to the top. They're able to view that the Union Army is encamped here. So they make the decision to attack. So as they do, there happens to be a very thick fog in the morning hours of October 19th, and they're able to come in and surprise the Union troops who are still having breakfast. Some of them are cooking, some of them are still sleeping, but the Confederates are able to come in and hit them surprisingly and start to drive them back. As that happens, there are actually trenches farther south on the battlefield that are done by Massachusetts and New York soldiers. And those are dug. They have to reverse their trenches because of the Confederate attack. They didn't expect the attack to come where it did. So they have to rather be on the side that they planned on being on. They have to flip over and go to the other side of the trenches and start fighting kind of backwards. But while this battle is happening, Union General Phil Sheridan is not on the battlefield. He is actually up in Winchester at a meeting. So when he hears about the battle happening and that the Confederates have pushed his troops pretty much completely off of this field and are driving them toward Winchester, he gets on his horse and he gallops south on the Valley Pike until he reaches an area just north of us at the just on the other side of Middletown, which is the Lord Fairfax Community College area right now. When he gets there, he rallies his troops, and in the afternoon, about 4 o'clock in the evening, there's a large Union counterattack. As the Confederates had kind of gotten bogged down, you got to remember these guys hadn't eaten, so some of them are going to stop for breakfast. There's also a stand that happens behind this house, which is known as this is the Heater House. Farther to the west, there's Mount Carmel Cemetery. In that cemetery is General Getty's troops, and they are going to withstand 2 Confederate assaults before having to retreat. Early's going to get so upset that he's going to mass 30 cannon and just start bombarding that area because he can't push the Union troops out. When he does finally push them out, that has bought a lot of time for the Union Army to kind of regroup north of here, and then the counterattack happens around 4 p.m. with Sheridan leading the way. They will then come down and push the Confederates completely out and rout them and send them flying south, and pretty much that'll end any chance the Confederates had of taking this Union Army or taking the fight to the Union. They will no longer be a fighting force in the valley, and that'll be the last major attack by Confederate forces in the valley.